reality. Like, it doesn't change the reality that you were the sort of person, and the one I was talking to, this one particular conversation, she invoked my Mama Bear's piece, Substack. She said to me, you, my once dear friend, are the sort of person who gave up being a mama bear and trusted someone who'd already lied to you and let them have your children. I can't trust you with my children ever again if you do that. I don't care what kind of apology you make. I don't care if you know that you were wrong. The fact is, there's something in your head. There's something in your head that allowed you to sacrifice your children, and no apologies changes that.
Look, I get it. On the other hand, a full apology would involve the recognition, which is very hard to reach, that you put your own children in danger because you trusted something that you knew you should have known better than to trust, right? So the point is, if somebody said that to you, like, I can't believe that I allowed my children to be vaccinated in this way when, I was being told, hey, even if these vaccines work, the risk goes up the younger you are, and the risk of COVID is spectacularly low, right? If somebody says, hey, I now get that message was available to me at the time, and I allowed myself to be blinded, and it placed my kids in danger, right? If somebody said that, then the point is, how likely is it that somebody who has had to wrestle with the terrible knowledge that they put their own children in danger is going to blindly do that again? And if they did start to blindly do that again, and you said, hey, do you remember that time that you took this?
I feel like you often say to me, no, the minds aren't like that, right? And I think, the 15 years that we spent really teaching college students, like actually really getting to know 25, 50, 75 students really well over the course of a quarter or two of the academic year or more, gave us both the sense, like, almost everyone's reachable, almost everyone's alive in there, and is waiting, if they haven't already discovered it, to be sparked into creativity and productivity and invention and discovery and exploration and so many interesting things. It was the very rare student, even at this really not elite college, who couldn't be inspired into doing some interesting work. And yet we see at the population level, where we don't know any of these people. We don't have access to them and their individual minds on, a daily basis for weeks on end or months or even years. That people are making decisions not based on, but why do you think that? Okay, tell me, let me give you why you shouldn't be thinking that way, or why you think I shouldn't be thinking this way. Without access to them at that level, it looks like it's not a model. It's just a conclusion.
No. Look, I think you're mixing two things. A, I disagree with you that almost everybody is reachable. I think almost everybody starts out reachable.
But in the college classrooms, people were young enough that it felt like...
A, they were young enough. B, because in my classes were so oversubscribed, and they tend to be oversubscribed because students who had gotten a lot out of it told other students who would get a lot out of it.
So the college wasn't selective, but our classes were.
Our classes were selective, I do believe we are all born in a condition where we can, unless you're broken, you can be reached early, but then you lose that capacity.
There's not a boundary, but it's a slope.
Right, and so my point is not, hey, everybody who did wrong here can apologize and get back to zero. My point is people who are capable of delivering the necessary apology can be made safe, because the whole point is it's the self-accounting that allows you to deliver an apology that doesn't have any, gray areas or places to hide some kind of self-deception. Full accounting that says, here's how I got this wrong, is itself a demonstration that the person has updated their model. Either that, or they have to be diabolical and they need to say this and not believe it and not care, which is very few people.
I guess I think there's a third category. I'm not sure. I hope I'm wrong. But as I heard it, you just described an apology that involves a description of the ways that a person was wrong. usually is either accompanies an update in the reliability of their decision making in the future, or they're diabolical, and they are reporting something that doesn't correspond to a change in the way that they're going to behave in the future. I think, unfortunately, that there are a whole lot of people who, in order to, like, oh, I just want this relationship back. Oh, can we just do like family holidays again? Okay, you know what? Thought about it. I saw you were wrong. I mean, I fear that that's what people are actually thinking. But like, thought about it. I see that we were lied to, and I made the wrong decision. And here's why. But here's why I won't do it again. And yeah, I'm making like a caricature of it. I'm kind of rolling my eyes, but I feel like there's people who can deliver an apparently good apology who will be internally kind of like, oh, this is pro forma, but I gotta get through it because I really like this person.
Oh, yeah.
I really like my sister. I really like my cousin. I really like my friend from high school. It's my work buddy. It's my boss. I gotta just do it. And okay, are we good? Really sorry. Okay, good. Let's go have a beer. And I feel like there's a lot of those people, and I'm worried about them because I feel like they're obviously from the past 3 years hiding in plain sight.
Well, I am not arguing that somebody who delivers an apology necessarily deserves a clearing of the slate. My point is a proper apology that involves a self-accounting that did not do the following thing. The accounting you are afraid of, and I also agree, it is there to be feared. It's the accounting that says, what is the minimum I have to acknowledge in order to get past this, right? For the grudging apology, minimal apology, that thing is strategic, and it is functioning to preserve the capacity to do similar things in the future. I want no part of it.
Even if none of that is conscious.
Right. Whatever mechanism it is that says, I want to get past it. And you can hear people who are actually good at apologizing, you will hear, they are not monitoring whether this is enough for you to let them off the hook. What they are trying to do is tell you their own argument with themselves. I'm angry at myself. Here's what for.
Yeah.
Here's what it looks like inside. I'm just going to talk. I'm going to let you see that, and then you're going to decide if that covers what you saw, right? And you may say, actually, it doesn't. I hear what you're doing there. You have found this 7 things that you did wrong, but you missed these other 2.
Yeah. Like, think on this more.
Right.
Come back to me.
All right.
Yeah. And hopefully, we've all been there on both sides. Like, if we're adults past, the age of, I don't even know what, but, we presumably all of us have done wrong unto others and had wrongs done unto us that warranted complex apologies. And sometimes the difficult conversation that happens does involve like exactly what you just said. Yeah, you got some of it, but you don't have all of it. That's not enough.
And
go back, think more. Come back to me after you have.
And if they do,
Yeah.
right, then what you have is somebody who is now hyper-conscious of this hazard that exists in them. That's the point.
Yeah.
Is that if you do this properly, then you end up conscious of things that most people are not fully conscious of. So if you...
But how often does this even happen? Like, you and I do this with each other. We do.
Yep.
And I think the audience, if you're watching, part of what you're watching for is because you can tell that we do.
Yep.
That we are actually honest with one another. It's not that we're always burdening one another at all, but we have both been on both sides of that.
Yep.
Okay? With each other. Have I been with other people? I don't know. So we are lucky to have in our lives each other with whom we can do that with. I don't know that most people understand. With whom they could do that it wouldn't just tear apart the fabric of the thing and it disappears into the wind.
Yeah, I mean, this goes to a different conversation that we've had multiple times here, which is...
Not so much here, this being the permanent, temporary, permanent,
Oh, no.
permanent student.
We have never had this conversation here, because this is the first conversation we've had here. But in the past on Dark Horse, we've talked about the painful upgrade to one's friend group that occurs in crisis because people disappoint you and they're actually telling you something that means no. They're not up to the challenge of being, they can be a friend under simple conditions, but if a friend to not do everything to get them back, because if they're not capable of at least apologizing for what they actually did wrong, then it's not really it's not something to invest in. But the other thing is that people surprise you in the other direction, and you encounter these folks who you didn't know before who are up to that challenge. And so I'm not telling you that the world is going to be full of people who are capable of delivering a high quality apology and deserve the forgiveness that comes from it, but I'm telling you that that's the thing you're on the lookout for.
Yeah.
And to the extent that you encounter people who do that, I think it makes total sense to put them in a very different category